Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode. The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program, whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair. The mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah God. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Of course, the Shock of the Hour is in the midst right now. The Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. We definitely give thanks for your presence wherever you may be in this international community. We're thankful for touching base. You know you've stepped into the nest, the tiger's nest, and each and every time you step into the nest, you don't know the information is going to get good, better, best. All right, and this evening is not going to be any exception. We always come with something fresh and some different level of understanding and comprehension here. As you would know, from time to time we like to look at different aspects of what is taking place in the entertainment world. That is how we even came out with that whole, fairy tale, folly days and nursery crimes, which is really a trilogy which will be coming very soon. The execution, don't worry, the execution is coming soon. But tonight what we want to look at is the whole aspect of the connection of Haile Selassie, Ethiopian, the Emperorship, with that of Sanford and Son. Now, of course, I think everyone would know for sure that when it comes to the comedy world, Sanford and Son is like tops, like the tops. I don't know what else. No Jeffersons, no Good Times, or as I like to call it, Bad Times, and none of them stuff can compare to Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford and Lamont Sanford, of which I believe also Damon Wilson, who plays Lamont. When you really observe the whole scheme of Sanford and Son, I find him to be a very fine actor, to be very honest. At least in that time, that's a long time ago. And there's a mystic expression here. You got to understand and comprehend, first of all, Hollywood, man, and the media, and entertainment, and the hidden message, and the hidden agenda that is, hidden within these sitcoms. Of course, the movies. All of this from this time, whether it's Carol Burnett and Friends, whether it's Laverne and Shirley, I'm gone all over now. Whether it's Three's a Company or whatever they used to call that, whether it's the Beverly Hillbillies, let's come back on our track now. Whether it's Sanford and Son, whether it's the Jeffersons, Whether it's good times, you gotta watch it good. Good times, it's obvious what good times is all about. Hard life, man. Ghetto life. Projects life. You know that projects. You live in the projects. You know that kind of terminology. What you projecting there? What's the project? We're a project? It's like they have a project and you live in the projects. I'm telling you. Oatmeal for breakfast every day. That's good times, man. Can hardly, have enough for this and always don't have enough for that and always this and something here and a rent overdue and eviction and all of that. Good times, man. Hard life in Chicago. Good times. Now, I'm not saying there's not a taste of reality in it. Of course there is. I mean, I like me some good times myself. What are you talking about? Tops as a program too, eh? Don't get me wrong, and especially if James is in it. Not JJ, but the James, man, the father. Oh yeah, man, that's tops. But then as the Jefferson says, now we're moving on up. That's why even Louise is like a rich Florida Evans. We're moving on up to a deluxe apartment in the sky. So it's a different level now. Looking over, where's the Jeffersons now? We're in New York City. You see what I'm saying? Different now, stepping up as black people. And we have a neighbor, she step up too, but she gotta marry a white man to step up. Don't play around, man. That's the image, man. Even when you go behind the scenes and you get the reality of it. The individual that plays Tom Willis in an interview, he said, man, at that time, man, they would get a lot of death threats, letters coming in from different angles, because basically the Jeffersons was the program that brought life or an acceptance to the interracial marriage on the scene. So you gotta understand the time. Don't just take these programs for granted and sit and laugh. Ha ha ha. You gotta understand the time. The Jeffersons. And it was cold-hearted how they killed James Evans, in that good times to make the whole situation worse. And then you have the Cosbys. Poor Bill. I wonder how he's making out in jail. Yeah? Then you have the Cosbys. The Cosby Show. Now we really step up. We ain't in no apartment. We have our own house. Oh yeah, and we can send every child is going to college with ease. With ease. No complaints about that. We don't even talk about that too much. We just talk about grades. We ain't looking for no B- in here. And everybody is good. Everybody can afford a perm. Oh yeah, check it. Florida Evans didn't have no perm in them. Everybody can afford a perm. And when you reach 18, you get your driver's license and you get your car. And again, college and university, it's in the bag because daddy's the doctor and mommy's the lawyer. I'm talking about the Cosby Show. It's a show. It's a show. Then we step into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's a show. And some other things in between, from Andy Griffith to all the rest, Leave It to Beaver. Everything has its message and its meaning. So don't just look at the black sitcom. Yeah, they were designed for the black people, but everything else have its place to play. Even Mr. Ed. They're talking, you understand. So Sanford and Son now had this level thereof. Because even in the Jeffersons, George Jefferson, the man that plays George Jefferson, he said he never really liked the jokes that he was given, as it relates to the Willises, the zebra jokes, the white husband and the black wife. He said he didn't like it. He said after a while he was going to the producers and telling them, man, it's about time that we change this up. But people liked it. So now in this episode of Sanford and Son, Sanford and Son is interesting. By far the best. By far. There's nothing you can call. Nothing you can call that can align itself with Sanford and Son. Benson, none of them. But now Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford, obviously, as simple as it may seem to you, as a junk man and with his son, we're talking about independent black people. Independent. That's something you gotta look at. Fred Sanford and Lemon Sanford are independent. Yeah, they may need to step up the business a bit, I don't know, but they're surely independent. Very key. Now, in this episode, this is the episode where Sanford realizes or supposedly comes to this conclusion that he's an Ethiopian Jew, an Ethiopian king. Now, a few people has picked up on this, but how much have we really picked up? The time frame, this is the 1970s. This is the time of Haile Selassie I and the Derg taking over Ethiopia. This same exact time. And here we have an episode of Sanford and Son. I mean, without a doubt, the top program in the US, which means internationally at that time. And they're highlighting the Ethiopian king and the Ethiopian Jews. It's not just the Ethiopian Jews, you know, but the Ethiopian king, Sanford and Son. Now, this is something for you to check out. When you watch every episode of Sanford and Son, remember Sanford and Son has many articles in the house, enough little junk here, there, and everywhere, inside of the house. On one of the shelves, just, well, I can't say to the east, but the wall that is aligned with the kitchen door. On the shelf, you see a bust, a small bust of Queen Nefertiti, right there in Sanford and Son's house. Queen Nefertiti. It's always there, not a specific episode. Every episode it's there, but you just gotta look for it. Then there's this picture on the wall, the famous picture of Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus Christ, kneeling and praying. But for whatever reason, the wall itself is built in a way, you gotta check it for yourself. This is just by the kitchen door. The wall itself is built in a way that it has like a semi-corner. And the picture of Jesus, it puts Jesus right in the corner, man, as if he's facing the corner, praying. At times the shadow is overshadowing the picture. I don't know, but the designer had to have something in mind. Then above the archway, before you go up the stairs, you see this somewhat damaged statue of what appears to be Anubis looking straight at you with the Kemetic fall that the Egyptian kings would wear. All of this can be seen in the house of Sanford and Son. You even have an Ethiopian artwork on the wall by the window when you're going out of the front door. A tall Ethiopian, as if they're carrying a water pitcher or something. And this is not in this episode, you know. This is all the time. All the time. So if you miss it tonight, you can try and see if you see it tomorrow. So, I mean, so obviously I don't know what the vibes is, but there's some energy there being emitted from Sanford and Son. And there was strong skepticism about Caucasians in Sanford and Son. Papa, I got this for $20. And this old lady, she did it. White woman. Old white woman, yeah. Ugly white woman, yeah. Old ugly white. Yeah, you get a lot of that. Old ugly white, you get a lot of that old ugly white woman talking in Sanford and Son. You understand? And when a white person appears and the difference of how Fred would react to the white person and all of that, and you know, although from time to time that doesn't really matter as the program, I guess, evolves into its latter stages, but that was definitely strong, especially in its inception. All right. let us follow this episode here. Of course, this is radio, so you gotta listen along. Give thanks and praises, Rastafari. Where are we?
Could have been more than a junk man. But I got a lot more than my father had and his father before him.
You remember your grandfather?
Oh, he passed on before I was born.
My grandfather was a slave.
I don't know what none of my folks were. One of them might have been a slave, or emperor, or king.
No,
You ought to do with
what we have here. We have we have Bubba Bexley and Fred Sanford in the kitchen sharing a cup of coffee and well, not a cup, drinking some coffee, sharing a cup, and speaking concerning their heritage. As you heard, Fred Sanford clearly said, I don't know what my ancestors were. One of them could have been, an emperor. So we see the word emperor comes into the conversation. Could have been an emperor. You gotta understand the time frame here. You could gotta understand the time frame. I've seen a few people use the Sanford and Son episode and say, yeah man, Fred Sanford realized that he's a Hebrew or he's a Jew. And they leave it at that. But no, this is more than Hebrew and Jew. There's a dash of Ethiopian in it, plus emperor. Don't run away, leave the rest of the story. So how the emperor now comes into the scene, 'cause that's a very key part of this, The emperor, 1970 plus 75, 75. This is 1975, in fact. The same year the emperor disappeared. Let me play with me. Come on. An emperor?
that man did who wrote Roots. He traced his family back in order to find out who he was. Who knows? Maybe someone in your family was a king. Or a tribal chief anyway.
That's right, and if my great-great-great-grandfather was chief, it would make me the great-great-great-grandson of a chief.
That's right.
That would be great, because the great-great-grandson of a chief is still a chief.
Of what?
That tribe.
That tribe probably wasn't in Africa.
They need me, Bubba. They need their chief.
Look, Phil, why don't you check and find out for sure who you are?
Well, I can't do that, Bubba. See, I saw that guy Haile who wrote Roots on Tonight Show. See, he researched 9 years to find out where it came from. See, at my age, that's a lifetime.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But you don't have to do it the way he did it. You know, there's an ad in the paper every day about a company who will do it for you.
You're kidding. Where?
Here in the paper. Hold a minute. Now look, see? Look, let us trace your background and we will send you your family crest and coat of arms.
My family crest and coat of arms? Bubba, you've done it. How much?
Fill out the application form and mail it in with $25.
$25 for a lousy coat of arms? I can get a whole suit with 2 pair of pants and a vest and umbrella with that kind of money.
Well, it's up to you.
$25, huh?
That's right.
$25 to find out if I'm descended from royalty.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that would sure show Lamont who's an emperor and who's a helper. How long did it take to find out?
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah, that includes all the research and the time it takes to send this into Burbank.
Burbank?
Yeah, Research City. That's the home base of this big company.
All right, now what else have I got to do?
So there's a few questions to get them started, like how far back can you trace your family?
Well, I think my mother once mentioned we came from North Africa, up near Ethiopia somewhere.
Well, that's good.
No, listen to that. You gotta understand the time frame again. No, my mother mentioned we came from maybe Northeast Africa, somewhere in Ethiopia there. So, I mean, this is like a puzzle being put together. So here we have, again, emperor. Emperor, chief, African king, Northeast Africa, from Ethiopia somewhere there. You understand? Now, we're not really into the biblical thing yet. We're just skimming, let's just say, going around the whole aspect of the African tradition. All right. Now remember, as I said, there's always a mystic, highlight when it refers to the whole Sanford and Son in general. All right, skipping a few minutes here. Let's get into this.
What is it? This box could contain positive proof I'm a king and you're a prince.
What are you talking about, Fred Sanford?
Be patient. Incoming junk should be seen and not heard. I'll let you know shortly.
Hey, come on, Pop. What is it?
Wait a minute. Look at it. Have you eyes but see not? Which would come in handy if you're looking at Esther. See, this is our family crest, son, right here. And look at that crown. I am a king. There it is right there. I've been right all along. See, that's the crown, and right there, that's Ethiopia. That's where my family came from. And right here, see, that's black and white hand intermingled. Whatever that means. And here's a shield showing that we were great warriors.
With a Jewish star on it.
Yeah. I wonder what that means.
That means, Fred Sanford, if I knew my Bible, and I know my Bible, you are a descendant of a king of the Jews. And if you're a king, you're also Jewish.
Jewish?
Gee, that's funny. You don't look it.
Now, let's just keep this on the serious level. So, okay. So now, in this aspect of the episode, so Fred Sanford receives the plaque, for those who have seen the episode, and the plaque is divided basically into four. There are four pictures on the plaque. You have the crown, you have the picture of Ethiopia, then you have a shield, of which the plaque really represents a shield, really. And the shield has on the Jewish star, what is realized or accepted in this modern time as the Jewish star, the six-pointed star. And then you have a picture of a white and a black hand shaking one another, really. And if you notice what Fred Sanford said, he said, whatever that means. And that's basically the same sort of energy I was telling you of earlier, that you get from Sanford and Son when it comes to these different things, No integration, none of them things. But anyway, so we're putting the puzzle together here now. So before, in the earlier part of the episode, it was really a conversation about this emperorship. That's how it began, if you ever check this episode out. It began with Sanford clearly saying that he was an emperor. He was the king of his empire. And that is the theme going through. Even as, you're going through it, you could still see the Nefertiti on the shelf on the wall, man. So I'm just saying now, after that now, his friend comes and shows him that, hey, you can do this research and you will get a plaque, and the plaque will tell you exactly who you are. Do you know where you're from? My mother told me that we are from Ethiopia in North Africa. Interesting, Northeast Africa, Ethiopia. At this time, 1975, while they're filming this, turmoil is going on in Ethiopia. In 1974, the monarchy was deposed according to the historical narrative. In 1975, in August, Haile Selassie disappeared, the emperor of Ethiopia. The final emperor of Ethiopia, the last emperor. We're talking about 3,000 years of emperorship, and the last emperor was Haile Selassie, no more after him, and he disappeared in 1975. The king of the Jews, of the lineage of David and great King Solomon, the king of the Jews, of the same lineage of Israel, of Judah, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, that the Rasta man telling you is being fulfilled in prophecy. The king that ruled, the emperor that ruled longer than any other emperor in them times, and even going back in times. And just a few nights ago, we did programs showing you how the world understood the presence of Haile Selassie I, and how they understood that even one BBC reporter was clearly showing you there's no other leader alive that has passed through the challenges that the emperor has passed through, and then there's no leader that has passed through the kind of challenges he has passed through, that can still walk with their head high, as the man said to have overcome them in this time is a feat unmatched by any leader, even in this time. That was Haile Selassie I. And you mean to tell me the same year that he disappeared now, when the media hot with him on the number one television show in the world, in the whole world. This ain't no underground series. The number one television show in the world, Sanford and Son. Not 10 years after, during the same time, in the same year, the same time the energy hot, the number one show is portraying that Fred Sanford, the chief character, is an emperor. And his mother said that he's from Ethiopia. And now he get the shield that shows that yes, there's a crown. So I guess he was right, he's an emperor. And there's a picture of Ethiopia on the shield, so I guess he's right, he was the king of Ethiopia. Plus, well, before the plus, there's a black and white hand holding hands. According to him, he don't know what that means, so let's skip over that for the moment. And then there's a shield with the 6-point star, which means he's Jewish. He's a Hebrew. And then there's this level of misunderstanding that enters. Well, Esther now is sure, because she's a Christian, she has her Bible in her hand. Her Bible is in her hand, you know, as always. And so she knows about all of that. She ain't giving you no Queen of Sheba story, but she's telling you she knows what the Jewish star means. It means you're a king, but we done see the crown. You know, you don't have to be a king to be Jewish. We done see the crown. But Jewish now, Lamont now is confused, like, wow, you don't look it. I mean, you don't look Jewish at all. You know, then the Falashas enter the discussion in this episode. You know, not the Galatians, I think Sanford called them the Galatians somewhere down the line. But the Falashas, we have done program on the so-called Falashas, the Better Israel, you know, the people of Africa that claim descendants to the Solomonic lineage and the Davidic lineage and the lineage of Israel in general. Of course, you know, as a level of confusion all by itself. But the point is there is a connection being made here. Do not overlook, we're talking about the top program on air. Bringing together the understanding in a very subtle way of Ethiopia and the Hebrew tradition being one under a crown of an emperor. And even the black and white hand and everything, if you understand the legacy of the emperor himself, the man of peace, the true man of peace. Even as one of the BBC documentaries was saying, he was first, coming out of this slavery period, you know, he was the first to be treated by white man as an equal. Now, there's another episode that I want to link with this, directly dealing with, this one is entitled Lamont Goes Africa, and I'm sure you know that one, of course, where Lamont starts to, you know, utilize a lot of key Swahili words, and you don't want to eat no more sausages and pigs, and everything was changing. He brought a lady from Nigeria, a sister from Nigeria, even Rollo himself. He himself changed his name. I can't remember what his name was, Oladiye or something. And Lamont became Kolunda, and these different things, you know. So this was the one entitled Lamont Goes African. Now, I'm just going to take a tidbit. Of course, again, this is radio, this is not television, so it's not as if I can show you what's going on, but I'm sure you've seen these episodes and you can do your own research, because this is research. And we're going to couple that with what we just covered a moment ago. Now, Lamont is wearing a dashiki, a beautiful dashiki, and his father is going to encounter him. And I'm telling you, while they're speaking, you could see the Anubis right above his head. You see the Anubis prince? Mm-hmm. That's the Anubis there. And when Fred is speaking, they're going to show you the Ethiopian artwork. And when Lamont is speaking, you're going to see Nefertiti in the corner. Really, really, really set out artistically and masonically, basically. I want you to listen to this.
Now, before you make any smart remarks, maybe I better explain something to you.
You don't have to explain nothing to me. But I tell you, if you walk down the street and some guy's following you, you better walk fast.
Okay, hold on. So, as I said, I can't show you this, but obviously this is taken from a Sanford and Son episode. And the Ethiopian picture that is always on the wall is now strategically between Fred and Lamont from the angle that this camera is on as Fred is speaking. This is some deep stuff, you know.
I knew you was going to have something smart to say about it.
I mean, what should I say when my son comes along wearing a dress? Next thing you be wearing pantyhose. Like on that commercial. Our legs fit your legs. They hug you, they hold you, they never let you go.
This is not a dress. This is a
He's going to say dashiki. Now, if you're watching it, you could see the bust of Nefertiti, clear as crystal. It's just there. Just Nefertiti is actually looking on Lamont while he's saying what he's saying now. Nefertiti is right there on Sanford and Son on the shelf.
dashiki. A dashiki is a traditional African shirt.
Hold on. Even this look like an Olmec. There's something on the second shelf. You see that? Mm-hmm. With the black face has an Olmec look. You gotta check out Sanford and Son junk, brother. This is more than junk.
Man, to me it looked like a traditional dress for a woman.
Well, that's because you've been conditioned to judge everything by Western standards. And I suppose there ain't no use in me trying to enlighten you.
I don't need to be no lighter. That enlightening stuff went out with Concoline hair straightener. If your hair is short and nappy, Concoline will make it happy.
You don't want to know nothing, so I'm...
Now, before that, a very key statement is going to be made here. Now, Lamont is looking into a mirror, which has a design over the mirror where you see the same 6-point star appear. I mean, go and watch it. Lamont Goes African. You see the 6-point star right above Lamont's head in the mirror. He's looking at himself in the mirror, and Fred Sanford is going to make a key statement now. This is not the episode when he thought he was a Jewish African Ethiopian king. This is a next one. Lamont is the African now. Lamont Goes African. Now listen to this statement here as Lamont is under this 6-point star in the house. Yeah, house full of junk, no?
I'm not going to try to tell you nothing.
Listen, what you said the name of this thing is? A duck shaker?
A dashiki.
Well, it looked like a mattress cover to me. How much you pay for it?
Listen.
$13.
$13. You paid $13 for a cotton blouse?
Hey, this is a genuine import. It came all the way from Africa.
I don't care if it came from Haile Selassies' closet. It ain't worth no $13.
Now, he don't care if it came from Haile Selassies' closet. So we obviously know who Haile Selassie is then. I mean, from the other episode, you would never even know they knew that Ethiopia really had an emperor who is a king of the Jews and the lineage of David and all of that. But all of a sudden, the closet of Haile Selassie is of such standard. And the number 13 too, because that's the price of the cotton blouse, the duck shaker. Imagine that. You got some laughs, didn't you? The dashiki, $13. Man, I didn't care if it came from Haile Selassie's closet. and Nefertiti on the shelf, and the Ethiopian art back on the wall, and Anpu, Anubis on the arch, and a picture of Jesus in the corner and Jesus facing the corner. You know, I don't know who is the interior designer and what kind of mind frame they had, but Sanford and Son, old rusty junkyard house full of some mystery. I'm telling you. So that episode, coupled even with this episode and the statements made, is not only just highlighting and accepting the presence of Negus and Nagas and his importance of that time, but in a very mysterious way as well, as if, you know, because remember, there's always war in Hollywood, eh? And this was a time when they wanted you to forget the king. But obviously the king is being expressed. Who's this on the wall? Alexander the Great or Caesar, or one of them fellas there?
Looks like Caesar.
They look like one of them Caesars, yeah. You understand? So Haile Selassie's closet. And what is key, that Haile Selassie's name was not mentioned in the other episode at all. But now we're dealing with African tradition in general. His name is just mentioned in the midst of all these key statues. But don't get me wrong, you know, as I said, in every episode, you see the Ethiopian artwork, you see the Anpu and the arch, and you see the Nefertiti. But the way the camera was dealing with this discussion a moment ago, how he highlighted each of them, leading up to the 6-point star, and then bam, $13 and Haile Selassie closet. To me, maybe because I'm a fan of Haile Selassie, but to me, there's a mystic within all of that. That's the point that I'm making. So we should take nothing for granted. And there are a lot of different subliminal messages that are flashed before us on a daily level. It is just us to be wise and to be sharp. And it has been flashed before us for a long time. The time is going to come when we're going to sit down behind some Yogi Bear. We're going to sit down behind some Snorks. We're going to sit down behind some Space Ghosts, some Smurf. Yeah, some Flintstones. Yeah, and show you exactly what the real hidden message and the hidden code really is. And this is why if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, Ross, the knowledge of your Bible will be nothing but a mystery. And this is why it always takes some real eyes for you to realize the real eyes that are amongst us. Give thanks every time. Holy Manuel I, Selassies, Jah, Rastafari,
Said love.
So who is this?
This is King Akhenaten, aka Amenhotep IV. He was an ancient Egyptian pharaoh of the 18th dynasty who ruled for 17 years and disappeared perhaps in 1336 BC or 1334 BC.
Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode. The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program, whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair. The mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah God.